Saints Row Gatted of Hell is kind of the black sheep of Saints Row. I only played it recently because I just never owned it before, and I looked at it and I was like, you know what, I'm not that bothered in it. It doesn't look great. But today we're going to be discussing if it's worth a pickup for you in 2021. This will be like my other videos I've made. I've done every other Saints Row besides this, that's why I'm doing it. And I'm looking forward to covering this one because I got a decent amount to say, but also it'll be quite easy and simple for us to get through. So, first of all, the map. What do I think of the map in Gatted of Hell? It's pretty good, actually. It's very good. It's weird. A game so small that's considered basically an add-on, a spin-off game, has a better map than the main game. Yeah, I think this is better than Steelport. Now, I want to just preface that by saying, better than Saints Row 4 Steelport. Saints Row 3 Steelport was made for Saints Row 3, and I think the map's great. It fits decently well. I mean, it's still Steelport. Steelport kind of sucks, but, you know, I think the game fits it well. But Saints Row 4 was just a carbon copy of Saints Row 3 Steelport, with a couple towers and a big ship in the middle. And they just decided to call that quits, and that was the game we got. And we got some big red force fields around the map, and that was Steelport. That was all they had to do. It was a pretty basic game. But, yeah, this is a completely original map for a spin-off game, which means it has more originality than Saints Row 4. So this map is really good. It's really vibrant, it's really colourful, there's lots of buildings of interest. Nothing looks too boring and samey. The main problem, obviously, is hell. It's quite a grungy, orange and brown looking map at times, and that can be annoying, but once you get to the right parts where it's nice and bright and vibrant, it actually kind of reminds me of Santo Eliso. The way that there's, like, these bright lights going on, you know, vibrant, flashing colours, it's really cool. And I think that the map does hold up decently well, especially for a spin-off game in 2021. Now we have the story. Now, I'm going to be real with you, okay? If you want to play a game for the story, this ain't it. The story's pretty shit, okay? It doesn't make much sense. There's no actual missions, really. It's just like, cause havoc until you anger Satan. Grr. That's basically the whole, like, idea of the game. It's not very good. It's not very structured. This game is not one you should be taking seriously, like 3, for example, or 4, even. Obviously, you don't take those games super seriously, but not even, like, to a small degree should you take this seriously. But the characters in the game are pretty good. Gat's cool, although he does annoy me at times when there's like musical bits on. I think it kind of ruined his style a little. Kinsey's as cool as Kinsey always is. Dame Vogel's back, which is a huge thing for older Saints Row. I mean, Dame Vogel's iconic, and he was back, and he was as cool as ever. You can kill Dex in the worst possible way, but at least Dex is there. It's a bit of a reference, I guess. It's not very good, but, you know, it's there. And overall, the characters are okay. It's nothing special, but again, you don't really want to buy this game for the story or characters. The characters are decent enough that they'll do for the gameplay, but obviously for the story, it's still just a bit boring, to be completely honest. But of course, we have to talk about gameplay. Now, I'm going to put gameplay and graphics into one. Now, I play on the 360 version. I haven't brought it for PS4 or Xbox One, and quite frankly, I'm not going to. The 360 version is backwards compatible, so I'll just play it there. But even for a 360 game, the graphics are quite good, relatively speaking, even backwards compatibility. For reference, on screen is the 360 game. That's the one I'll get the gameplay from. It looks fine. Now, the gameplay is really good, and I'm going to be bold again and say it has better gameplay than 4. The map is just tailored in a way that everything you can do in Gatted of Hell works a lot better than 4's. 4's just felt like a quick, like, cutout map from Steelport, whereas this feels like it was actually tailor-made to Gat's wings, and there's, like, buildings you can fly through, and everything. So the gameplay is really good, flying and movement wise. Gunplay is just as good as 4. Whether you like that or hate that, that's just where it is. It's about the same as 4. So overall, I think it's good. The superpowers are back. You know, super sprint, super jump, and then there's like the freeze one, all that shit. But I will say that flying is considerably better in this game. It's a lot nicer, quite honestly. So yeah, I thought I'd just say that. The gameplay is quite nice, and it really does hold this game forward. Next up, we have cars. Who gives a fuck? The cars are quite original, I guess. There's some cars with different names to what they are in the other games. But realistically, no one uses cars. It's a similar situation with Saints Row 4. I mean, sure, you can get into a car, but what's the point? You're going to get into a car to be slower than your base Gat. Like, it's pointless, really. So yeah, I will just be honest. The cars are pretty useless. NPCs are kind of just this weird cardboard cutout from Nazi Zombies COD. Like, they're just this weird, like, ghoul-looking thing, honestly. You could have convinced me it was a Drogar from Skyrim, and I'd have believed you. It's very boring, basic, and bland, to be honest, and it's not very good, okay? It's just not very good. But, you know, I don't think this game really needs good NPCs for what it is. I mean, this is supposed to be just like a casual, not take it too serious game. And the NPCs don't hold back the game. I mean, they're just as boring as Steelport's NPCs, really. Just with an even more boring layout, because it's the same person every time. So, I've got one more point to say. Now, you're probably thinking, wow, this is a short review. Get Out of Hell is just not a very expansive game. There's not too much to actually dive into. There's cool cameos and features and stuff, but that's stuff you'd know if you wanted to play the game. Like, that's stuff that me telling you wouldn't really matter. You're not going to get the game because Shakespeare's in it, for example. But what I will say is Get Out of Hell's fun aspect is what saves the game. If you want to have a fun, casual experience that Saints Row just being its wackiest, funniest self, Get Out of Hell is a great game for you, and it is 100% worth it in 2021. However, if your plan is purely just to get a game that's going to be like Saints Row 5, you know, because you've done Saints Row 4 and you want some Saints Row to play in the background, this isn't it, okay? This is not a full-fledged Saints Row, and I hope I make that nice and clear. It really just isn't a new Saints Row game. So, don't take it as that. But if you're just looking for a cool sandbox Saints Row game to have a bit of fun on and mess about, this is it. It's pretty cool.